it's just funny how Hollywood how Hollywood just chastises you for for not being as environmentally friendly, and yet California is probably one of those states that most likely is very polluted. Not to mention that Hollywood probably pollutes, does cause more pollution than any other institution. So I don't know. Hearing Harrison Ford lecture to me on how I'm not, how I'm I'm a sinner because I don't do enough for the environment. Well, to be honest, I probably do more for the environment. You know, I recycle my I recycle what I eat. I recycle what I eat. You see what these are? You see what these are? These are the leaves. These are the leaves from strawberries. And so I recycle these leaves from strawberries when I'm done eating strawberries. I'm going to, and if when my food is when my food is like rotten, I take it out. My vegetables are rotten. I take them out to a compost pile out in the backyard, and I recycle them that way. You know, I don't think Harrison Ford does that kind of stuff. No, he probably flies around in his big jets, that big fancy pilot. See, I wouldn't have a problem with Harrison Ford if he didn't feel the need to preach to me about how I am evil, how I'm a sinner in the eyes of the environmentalist gods. I'm Jerry Falwell, and you're a goddamn sinner for not doing your part for the environment. If he wasn't so Falwellian, and all these other people weren't so Falwellian, and probably actually, I mean, I would like to know if Harrison Ford actually does things for the environment. If he actually does stuff like grow his own vegetables and his own fruit and put back into the environment. Because legitimately, that would make me at least respect him to some degree. If I was Harrison Ford and I was asked to talk about the environment, I would live according to the very things that I talk about. Because I feel that these are cool things. You know, I personally feel like actors should practice what they teach instead of engaging in hypocrisy. Instead of engaging in hypocrisy, because, you know, the last thing that I want to have to hear is a what do they call it? I think I have a meme that describes them. Oh, come on. Thank you. Thank you. I think I have a meme that describes this type of person best. And I always have this stuff, regardless of whether you hold to religion or not. This is true regardless. You don't need to be religious. But this is something that I have come across over the course of many years. And it is this. A sincere sweeper in the street is far better than a charlatan meditator who only meditates for the sake of making a living. Well, that describes these actors that preach about how oh, you're hurting the environment and whatnot. You're like whitewashed tombs that look beautiful on the outside, but inside are full of dead man's bones and every kind of impurity. In the same way, on the outside, you look righteous to people, but inside you are full of hypocrisy and lawlessness. Jesus of Nazareth, the Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 23, verses 27 and 28. Classic quotation from the Bible. So let's see if I can find another one here. Oh, those. Here's another good one. Here's another good one. It is wisdom when you have a greater understanding about how the world works before one speaks on such world-changing subjects. No matter how hard you deny the truth, one cannot avoid it. Activists very seldomly know how the world works. They very seldomly think about the harm that they are causing some Chinese kid working in the suicide factories, or even some African kid working in the many mines in Africa in order so that they can have the latest Apple MacBook. You mean even I'm aware of what goes into the crap that I've owned, and I do more and more electronics. I do more electronics recycling. In fact, I'll show you because you see this. This is an old laptop from the 1990s. You know what I use it for? Playing video games. I play video games on this. And to keep it out of landfills, I put it to good use. I put it to a different alternative use than it would have been used for. You know? So I don't see these actors doing that. I don't leave my systems on all the time, you know. But I, in one way, do contribute to the environment, keeping the environment. I don't see these actors. I don't see people in Hollywood. They probably throw the crap out. They don't find alternative uses for them. And you could find good uses for an old laptop like this. Like this old 90s Gateway Solo laptop. This thing is quite a fantastic laptop. Found it on eBay. These actors would never advocate what I advocate for. You know, let's see if I got some other stuff in here. Here's my key. See if I've got other stuff. Oh, I got an Ethernet card. I got a wireless card. See, I've linked this wireless card from like 2004 roughly, because I still have my old computer. Show you my old computer. I still have that. I didn't throw it. I didn't get rid of that. Throw that in the landfill because, you know, that system is fairly good. That system can run Linux. I still have my old computer. Unlike these fucking actors that throw their fucking systems out and buy the next Apple MacBook, next Crapintosh computer, next Shittintosh. See, they don't have their old computers like I do. You know, I even have a Pentium 3 system that I built that I could run Linux on too. See. Oh. I still have my old computer. See, I still have my old computer. Unlike these hypocritical fuckers telling us that we're evil. We're goddamned. We're fucking evil for not doing enough for the environment. See, fuckers, I'm doing more for the environment than you are. Christ. I'm doing more for the environment than you fuckers in Hollywood. So I don't want to hear it from these dumbass. I don't want to hear it from these actors. They can go fuck themselves. They can go fuck themselves. If you want to really see what this other thing says, yeah, that's what that says. If you want to know what it's actually saying. So, and I can run Linux on that computer. That computer, although being roughly a 10-year-old computer, I can still run like Debian. I can run Debian Bullseye on that laptop, on that desktop. I run Debian Bullseye. Hell, I've got an IBM ThinkPad T42. I have an IBM ThinkPad T42. I've got several old laptops. And this is an old laptop that can run both Windows 98 and a modern version of Linux. See, I do more recycling of electronics than these fuckers in Hollywood. I do more for the environment than they do. So I don't want to hear them. So I don't want to hear how I'm not doing enough. I'm doing way more than they are. Christ. Let's see if we go even further. Let's see if we can... Yeah, I got this laptop. You know what I use this laptop for? I use this laptop to copy the files to my Pentium 1 laptop. Yeah, that gateway that I showed off, that black laptop that has a diamond on it, that says Gateway Solo, that's got a Pentium MMX. This has got a Celeron M. That IBM ThinkPad T42 has a Pentium M. And I use that IBM ThinkPad for testing stuff out. So it's like, I just don't want to hear from these people. I don't like to hear from these actors that think that, like, and I don't think people should be taking them all too seriously. Like, they're not worth it. They're not worth the blood. Not worth the blood to get offended at. Because, to tell you the truth, they're not worth it. And let's see if I can find another one. Oh yeah, that's the specs of that IBM of that Gateway Solo 2500. That's how much RAM it got on there, and it's got onboard 32 megs, total 192. Let's see if I can find that meme. Let's see if I can find that in here. I've got entire yeah, I think I need to go this route. Like, let's read some more stuff. Let's just read some more stuff about hypocrisy and whatnot. I like my Ganondorf. Let's do this. You know, pride goeth before the fall, before destruction. Why authoritarians lose. Now, this not in this case. We're going to be talking about the hypocrisy side of these, just hypocrisy. But I'm going to understanding which considers what is unrighteous as righteousness, unrighteousness as righteousness, and what is righteous as unrighteousness under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in the wrong direction, as in falls short, and is in the mode of ignorance. Krishna. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wickedness for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. And I think that's a King James version of the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20 to 23. Yeah, some of my favorite things in the Bible. And some of the verses that talk about hypocrisy. Yeah, just hearing actors... Yeah, that's not the one I wanted. But hearing actors just talk about how... Hearing actors talk about how I'm that big of a guy, and yet they themselves probably do more to the environment, more damage to the environment than anyone else. Like, I seriously would like to know what Harrison Ford is doing to help the environment. Because I doubt that he's doing anything at all. I doubt that he's doing anything at all.